Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bella. I'm from the International Relations Office, and welcome to our second immigration workshop on the TIA renewal. Today, we'll be focusing on Mercurio, which is the platform that is used to submit your documents for the renewal process online. And just so you know, for everyone to know that this session is going to be recorded. It's so we can send it to you later on when all the workshops are finished to for you to review the steps and something for you to look back on. So let's begin. So today we're going to discuss basic terminology, the differences between concepts and certain documents, frequently asked questions, and we'll show you a graphic timeline of the whole process of the TIA renewal. Before we start, it's important to have this in mind that the renewal process is completely different from doing it the first time you applied for a TIA. The renewal must be done online. The university does not intermediate in the process. The documents are not submitted to the International Relations Office of the university. So this means that you are responsible and in charge of the whole TA renewal. That is submitting the papers, following up, responding to immigration, and paying the fees. And most importantly, booking your own fingerprint appointment. So when can I renew my TA? The start of the renewal process is you can start within 60 days before your current card expires or maximum 60 days after your card expires. So again, if you have your card expiring this year, particularly August 31, you can do it as early as June, the end of June, or end of November. But the sooner you upload your requirements and your documents, the better you get and the faster you get your card. But it's really important also that you have your digital certificate because without it, you can't renew it and you won't be able to access the platform Mercurio. The renewal process is not quick or straightforward. It takes about 3 to 4 months to get a resolution. So it's essential to have everything prepared and to listen to this workshop. And if you have any doubts, you can write down the chat or you can message us later on. So as I mentioned earlier, the renewal process is not easy. It's very complex. It can be difficult and a little frustrating sometimes. So we really suggest that you be fast, be responsible, and have a positive attitude. It's also really important to be active and attentive to responding to the immigration matters, and especially in this really, really tricky process. So let's begin. What is Mercurio? Mercurio is the Spanish government's platform that allows you to apply for the TA renewal online. It's a web page where you can upload your documents, fill in your personal data, and thus create a file under your name without physically showing up to the extranjeria or the immigration office. And this is basically the electronic channel of the immigration office to review documentation and notifies foreigners whether or not they decide to extend your stay. So for this renewal, there are a couple prerequisites, just like what we mentioned in the first workshop. You need to have your digital certificate installed and valid, autofirma, the application autofirma, in order to electronically sign your application, updated Google Chrome, and your updated computer system. Now, what are the documents that you need? So there are several documents for this renewal process. This includes your passport, official transcript, proof of enrollment, or any proof that allows you to stay longer here in Spain, proof of economic means, medical insurance, the payment of the TASA 790052, and empadronamiento, which is basically your registry here in Pamplona. So let's go one by one. A copy of your full passport. So you need to scan the whole passport, including the blank pages for this. And when you're scanning all these documents, especially the passport, it could be a heavy file. So we really suggest that you compress your file less than 6 MB in order to upload them properly on the platform. The second one is your informe de expediente or your report card, your grades from the previous year. You can find this on your UNAV portal and directly download it from there. It doesn't matter if it has that watermark, it will serve and it will be valid for the renewal process. The same thing on your portal. You can also find we also need your informe de matricula, which is your enrollment certificate to show that you're enrolled and you're registered for the next school year. So again, in your UNAV portal, your gestión académica, click your degree and click informe de matricula. Now another document is the proof of economic means. So if you are financially responsible for yourself, the certificate from your bank showing that you have a minimum of 600 euros a month is enough. You can show your bank extracts, your payments. But if your parents are going to be giving you financial support for the next school year, they would need additional documents such as the letter stating that your parents are going to support you during your time in Spain in Spanish. It must be in Spanish, and a photocopy of your parents' valid passport or ID. Apart from that, they need to prove that they have the sufficient means to support you. So, an income tax return could serve, bank balances, pay slips, their salaries, just to support that they have enough money to cover your stay in Spain. The other document that you need is health insurance. So you must upload a policy, the policy of your health insurance that shows the start and end date. So the contract, it's a little too long, but it may be a little too long, but it will serve as long as it shows the dates that it's valid. So it must cover the entire academic year. So these are the sample health insurances health insurances that you can use. And the one of the other documents that we need is the payment with the code 790052. This is very tricky because you could be confused with the other code, the other tasa, which you will have to pay later on. But for this renewal, you need to find the code 790052 and it looks exactly like this. And when you go on the website, you make sure that you are able to print it. Never pay online because the internet payment doesn't work. It's it's uh it's not reliable. So it's better to print them and pay physically in the bank or an ATM. Now, when you're filling up this form, make sure you put your NIE, your name, your nationality, and all your data, and select the option 1.3, which is basically the prolongation of your authorization of stay of through studies. So this in particular. Now, as I said, there's in this whole renewal process, there's two fees that you have to pay. So the code 5052 is the first one, what we just had mentioned earlier. And the second one is code 012, which is basically for the card itself, which you need after you got your renewal approved. So 052 for Mercurio and 012 for your card. Last but not the least, the empadronamiento. Some might not need this if they haven't moved to different addresses, But if you have, you must have the empadronamiento. This document certifies that you live in Pamplona. So it's really easy to get it. You can do it online or even on in person. Now, with the documents, this is the timeline for the renewal process. You get your digital certificate and it's installed in your computer. Then you gather all the necessary documents that we had just talked about right now, your passport, the tasa, informe de matricula, everything, etc. You upload your documents in Mercurio, and then from there, it takes about 3 months at least to get a notification from the extranjeria, the immigration office. So you must be attentive to your email. If you have an if you have an email, you must open it right away. And this notification will say notification extranjeria. You'll have to open to the website that's there. And it could be a resolution, a favorable resolution, or um a missing document that you need. So all these notifications that come from the extranjeria, they take 10 days to open, meaning you need to open it within the 10 days or else it will expire and you won't be able to see your what you've been missing. If you had a missing document, you might not be able to see it. Or if you have your resolution, you won't be able to see it as well. So it's really important that you're attentive to your email. So once you get notified that your renewal application has been resolved, you can now make an appointment in the extranjeria and leave your fingerprints for to get the card. So with this appointment, you go submit the necessary documents, which is a different set of documents to submit, and after 1 month of the appointment, you can pick up your tia there. So what are your next steps now? Verify that your digital certificate is valid. And if it's valid, you can start preparing your documents and upload your documents to Mercurio. You have to when downloading, sorry, when you are going to renew and start submitting your stuff in Mercurio, you have to download the proof of presentation. That's your receipt that shows that you um successfully uploaded your documents online through Mercurio. And then you have a waiting period. Once you get a notification, you download the resolution, you request a fingerprint appointment, and go to the police station. So step by step, this is how we're gonna explain those boxes that we had just mentioned earlier. So verify your digital certificate. You can go to the website of FNMT and you can click on request verification just to see if your digital certificate is valid. If you just got it recently, it should be valid for 4 years. Now, when you upload your documents, the documents that we had just mentioned earlier, this is what you'll do step by step. You can Google autorizaciones extranjería and you click the first link there. You continue, press continue, and then your digital certificate will be read there. Click on your digital certificate, and then from there you can press continuar presentación with autofirma telematically, and you press a new request and putting Navarra as your region. So this is what it looks like, continuar individual, and then you press continuar presentación, the one that says autofirma, because this will show that you're doing it online. And the moment you press that, you press presentar nueva solicitud and put Navarra as your region. Now, from there, you put in your details and everything, and you start submitting your documents one by one. These are the categories that you have to submit, just like the documents that we had mentioned. So this would be your health insurance. This one would be your economic means, proof of economic means. Copia de completa de pasaporte is your full scan of your passport, the tasa. And then this one shows is your informe de matrícula. And for others, sometimes the options can change. It can be different for others. So to upload, for example, the expediente or the empadronamiento, you can click this and then you just rename it. Now, when you submit everything, um, and it gets sent to the immigration office, it's really, really important that you download the proof of presentation. So this is your receipt that legally proves that you fulfilled your renewal obligation. And this is going to be very useful. So if you're going to go for the holidays outside the Schengen zone, you need to apply for an autorización de regreso, a return permit, and you can use this to show that you're in process of renewing your TIE. While waiting for the resolution, you can consult the status of your TIE renewal with your NIE and the número de expediente that they send you on your email. So if you search información sobre el estado de expediente, it will lead you to this page and you can put your details to search the status of your application. Now, let's say you got the notification, you downloaded it, and you finally got your favorable resolution. You must download it within 10 days that you receive the notification, and it looks like this. The moment you get that, you can start gathering the documents that you need for the fingerprint appointment. But it's really important that you get the appointment first. So with the appointment, you search Cita Previa Extranjería, put the region as Navarra, the office in Pamplona. This is the address. And then you put specifically for trámites, put the Policía Nacional. So it's a police process, put toma de huellas, which is your fingerprints. Now, for the fingerprint appointment, what do you have to bring? Well, you have to bring the EX17 form, application form, your resolution that you had just downloaded from Mercurio, your passport, your expired TIE, because that one is what you're going to change and replace with a new one. Empadronamiento, if you have submitted it, a recent ID photo, and the tasa with code 012, printed, signed, and paid, and the proof of your fingerprint appointment. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this slide just so you can see what you need for the cita de veas. Just remember that when you submit the renewal online, they're not going to give you the cita de huellas, which your fingerprint appointment. You're gonna have to do it yourself. So where's the extranjería? If you haven't been yet, it's a little off out of the centro. It's in this address, and it looks like this. It's literally the police station. So what's next after the appointment? Well, after every TIE fingerprint appointment, within a month you can get your card in the police station without any previous appointment or um any reserved appointment prior. So do I have to renew every year? Yes, renewal is only valid for 1 year. If you have a card that says that, oh, when I got my card, it was 2 years, lasted for 2 years, will they renew for me 2 years again? No. According to the law of the immigration, they only renew for 1 year. Also, it's very important to know that if you have changed degrees, you must apply instead of instead of renewing, you must apply for a new student visa in your home country to make sure that your data as a student here in Spain is associated to the degree that you are studying. And remember, this process is between the student and the Spanish government only. We're here to help you from the international office. We're here to help you with everything you need, you to orient you and guide you and help you submit. But it's between you and the government of Spain. So you must be responsible, you must be fast and be attentive to your TA renewal. Well, that's it for now. If you have any doubts, any questions or inquiries regarding the TA or immigration, you can always visit us in Edificio Central in front of the cafeteria, or you can write to us in Visa UNAB. You can check out our immigration manuals also on our webpage. If you scan this QR code, it has all the steps of the renewal process, how to get the digital certificate, and other immigration procedures. Well, that's it. Thank you very much for listening and for coming today.